How are you today? Hope doing well. As far as I'm concerned, I'm fine, and I'd like to walk you through the lesson where we'll look together at how we can teach grammar. While you watch my lesson, I want you to look closer at how I present the questions, starting with how much and how many stage by stage. We'll get back together soon and discuss it more. I will use the materials from the course book for the 5th grade. As for now, follow me and welcome to my lesson. Hello everyone, how are you today? Let's start our lesson. Look at the picture. This is Emir. What do you think his job is? Right. He is a director of a big company. Do people respect him? Yes. He is a big cheese. If someone is a very important person, do we call him a big cheese? Right. So Emir is a big cheese. He is a very important person. If you study English in the future, you will also become a big cheese. And boys and girls, do you remember the topic of our previous lesson? Right, food, favorite topic of many people. And can you remind me what countable and uncountable nouns are? Yes, countable nouns are the objects that we can count. For example, 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. And if you can't count the things, they are uncountable. For example, milk. Look at these words. Are they countable or uncountable? For example, can you count bread? No. So you write U, uncountable. Can you count sausages? Yes. So you write C. Can you do it yourself? Okay. Now let's check it together. Seems like no mistakes. Good job. So now let me ask you a question. What is your favorite dish? And can you cook it? Good for you. Some dishes are really difficult to cook. For example, my favorite dish is lagman, but I don't know how to cook it. If I want to cook a dish, but I don't know how to make it, what do I do? Right, I can open a cookery book. Let's repeat it together. Cookery book. Cookery book. And can you spell it? C-O-O-K-E-R-Y. Cookery. B-O-O-K. Book. Cookery book. So, what can you find in a cookery book? Right, recipes and ingredients. Now, please look at these pictures. Can you name the dishes? For example, number 1 is mante. What about number 2? It's plov. What do you call the dish number 3? Right, besh barmak. And what about the last one? It's Greek salad. Well done. So I opened my family cookery book and found some recipe of one of these dishes. Let's look at the ingredients. So we need 200 grams of rice, 5 carrots, 1 kilogram of meat, some garlic, 2 or 3 onions, some salt and pepper. Now try to guess which dish this is. Let's try to do it together. So, do you need rice for mante? No. Do you need carrots for beş parmak? No. Do we need all these ingredients for plov? Yes, surely this is plov. Well done. Do you love plov? Yes? Then try to memorize the recipe. Remember though, every family has their own recipe of plov. After the lesson, ask your parents and grandparents about the ingredients. Maybe they know the secret one. By the way, what questions will you ask? Right, how much and how many? For example, can you count meat? No, it's uncountable. It means that you should ask how much meat do you need for plov? Let's repeat it together. How much meat do you need for plov? How much meat do you need for plov? Good. And can you count carrots? Yes, you can. It's countable noun. Can you make a question with how many and carrots? Good. How many carrots do we need for plov? How many carrots do we need for plov? So, what conclusion can we make? Do you remember the question about meat? Yes, how much meat do you need? It means that we use how much with uncountable nouns. What was the question about carrots? How many carrots do you need? So we use how many with countable nouns. Good job. Now, please look at the rest of ingredients and make questions with how much and how many. Okay, let's try to do it together. What about rice? Yes, how much rice do we need? Meat. How much meat do we need? Carrots. How many carrots do we need? Garlic. How much garlic do we need? Onions. How many onions do we need? Salt and pepper. How much salt and pepper do we need? Well done. And look at these questions. Your task is to complete them with how much and how many. For example, students. Can you count them? Yes, of course. So you ask how many students are there in your class. Now, can you do it yourself? Good. Look at the answers and check your ideas. Seems like no mistakes. Well done. So, at home, think about your favorite dish. Make a list of ingredients, read the list to your friend, and ask him about his favorite dish. Help your mother and cook something tasty. Do your homework, study English, and in future you'll become a big cheese. That's all for today. Goodbye. Dear colleagues, welcome back to our discussion. Hello, Ipiri.
Hello, Nelly. I really enjoyed your lesson.
And what did you like the most?
I like that you used an idiom in the beginning.
Yes, idioms are very useful. They enrich students' vocabulary. And there are a lot of good idioms in English. And it's good if the teacher can find the one that is connected to the topic of the lesson. If you start with an idiom, it will introduce the theme and raise students' interest.
I see. Thank you for the idea. And Nelly, today you taught some grammar. How many, how much, right?
Yes, you're right.
And why did you start with the dishes and ingredients but not grammar presentation?
Because I wanted to create some context to give my students the real-world examples of how and when grammar is used.
That's a good point. One more question, Nelly. You always asked first your students and then gave the answer. Why?
The teacher should always try to elicit the information from students rather than giving it to them straight away. It will motivate the students, involve them into the learning process, and encourage them to speak.
I see. That's right.
Good. So let's try and summarize all we have discussed today. So the first thing is that you can present the idiom to introduce the topic of the lesson. Second, teach the grammar through context, through eliciting information from your students. And the last one, involve your students into the learning process.
That's a good point.
Thank you, APD.
Thank you, Nelly.
Dear teachers, hope you've enjoyed our session today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at our website. That's all for today. Goodbye.
Bye.